Hey guys, today we are exploring Andersonville, which is a micro neighborhood within Edgewater, and we want to be your local neighborhood guide here in the city of Chicago. As a local real estate broker, we love this neighborhood and have had tons of clients purchase and sell in this neighborhood. And there is a reason why a lot of people flock to it. My name is Samuel Sean. I'm a local real estate broker with the At Properties Chicago lifestyle team, and we are here to instruct you on why this neighborhood is so fabulous. Now, did you know in 2021, this neighborhood was named by Time Out magazine as one of the hottest and coolest neighborhoods in the entire world. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. There's so much that this neighborhood has to offer, including restaurants and nightlife and bars, coffee shops. This neighborhood is one of those neighborhoods I like to think of as kind of a really great mom and pop destination. These are family run, small businesses, so you're not gonna get a ton of big commercial spaces, which make this a really intimate and gorgeous neighborhood. Andersonville is a sub-neighborhood of the greater Edgewater neighborhood. And so these lines always kind of like blur together. Initially, Andersonville used to be from Foster up to like Bryn Mawr, and it would go over to Broadway and over to Ashland. It's kind of meandered a little bit more over the last couple of years, and I actually think it goes down to kind of like Lawrence Avenue. Andersonville is actually Swedish born. It's where all like the Swedish flags are, and that is the quintessential aspect of this neighborhood. But guess what? It has now become one of the second gay destinations in the city of Chicago, with a lot of gay bars and a lot of pride flags all around this neighborhood. It's a very accepting neighborhood, and it's super diverse and just is really quaint and charming. So in this video, we're gonna take you through the neighborhood, show you some of our local favorite businesses. If you are a local and you live here in the city of Chicago, we hope that you can find some really fun tips and tricks that will bring you up to this neighborhood to help you explore, so that you determine that this neighborhood is the right fit for you. And if it is, I hope you reach out to us and let us know so that we can help you move to the area. Now, come on, let's go explore. So one of my favorite things about this neighborhood is that it is littered with coffee shops and places to congregate. It goes from Starbucks to little mom and pop local Chicago places. Now, this is one of my favorite coffee places in this entire area. It's called Collectivo Coffee. They're actually a local brand and have several locations throughout Chicago, but this one is one of my favorites. They have the garage doors right here, and they open it up during the summer, and there's so much space, and they have some of the best coffee. So right now we're on Clark Street, which is the business district. There's so much artwork and so much just coolness that this neighborhood has. So right here in Andersonville, every Wednesday from 3 to 7 is the actual farmers market, which opens up right here on the corner of Catalpa and Clark Street, right across from the Jewel Osco, which is our local grocery store. Now, it features a bunch of different vendors that are here on a weekly or bi-weekly case. It actually runs through May all the way through October, and it's one of the special highlights of this neighborhood. And walking south on Clark Street is so fun. There's so many different things. Fia is one of my favorite restaurants in the neighborhood. It's actually Mediterranean. There's a lot of like little hidden gems that you don't think you would see off the street. Fia actually has a really great back patio that I don't think a lot of people know about, and it's so cute. And they actually have a really good happy hour. And then this is Canella. Canella is a breakfast place, kind of like a diner, and it's a local staple. again, being the old Swedish district, this area is really well known for its furniture. So right here we have Brown Elephant. This is going to be a resale shop, and all the sales and proceeds go to HIV as well as the Howard Brown Foundation. So really kind of a great way to A, shop, be resourceful, and then also support a really good cause. So when you're shopping off Clark Street, make sure you're heading down some of these side streets. Vincent is a restaurant that's right here. They have a beautiful patio. It's gay owned and super friendly, really good restaurant. Make sure you're checking out these side streets. One of the things about Andersonville is it is essentially the second gayborhood in the city of Chicago. We have Boys Town, but Andersonville has kind of become this secondary hub for a lot of gays, and this is Atmosphere. This is one of the gay nightclubs that we have. They have go-go dancers, they have really great DJs, really fun dance club if you ever want. In the summer, they open up all the windows and you can kind of peer into it, which is really fun. Replay is also another gay-owned restaurant, which is across the street, as well as Marty's and Elixir. They actually were established in Lakeview, and they opened up second locations here in Andersonville. Calo is a quintessential Italian restaurant that's been here forever, I feel like. They make really good martinis and really good Italian food. One of my favorite shopping in this area is actually Cowboys and Astronauts, which is a local men's shopping experience. Super fun. Come take a look. Here with George from Cowboys and Astronauts. He works here and lives in the neighborhood. And so, George, what are your 5 favorite things about Andersonville?
I love the local feel. I love the queer neighborhood. Someone once told me that Andersonville is almost like a beach town in Chicago.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just like a half-mile walk to Hollywood Beach as well as Foster Beach. So you get a lot of people, especially in the summertime, just relaxing, stopping by the shop, saying hi, and you really get to see locals and tourists come in and kind of fall in love with the neighborhood.
So how many people actually come in from like other neighborhoods or other cities?
Yeah, I always feel like Andersonville is like a neighborhood where your second time in Chicago people come visit. People always do the downtown area, but if you really know, then you're coming up to Andersonville. You're doing the antique shops, the coffee shops, and businesses like us.
Love that. So what are some of your other favorite things about the neighborhood?
The walkability. I love the Chamber of Commerce is always doing fun events. The Wine Walk is fun, sponsored fun. Midsummer Fest, which is a good, rambunctious, fun time.
And so how long have you lived in the neighborhood?
I've lived in Chicago for 10 years, in the neighborhood for about like 6 of those.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What made you decide on Andersonville?
I'm a renter, and the rent kind of pushed me up here. It's affordable.
It's very affordable up here.
Yeah, and then is also close to all the shops and places that I wanted to go to, as well as more friends started coming up here. So I went to college here, and then post-college, a lot of young, fun, creative folks came up here, and I just followed.
So what's your favorite restaurant here?
Favorite restaurant would be Pizza Lobo.
Pizza Lobo?
Which is a newer restaurant.
It is. It opened up during the pandemic.
It did, but mostly for the patio. I'm a social person, so I love hanging out with friends. So being on the patio all day with a beer in hand is ideal.
I love that. I love their back patio.
Yeah.
So if people are moving to Andersonville, what would you say about the neighborhood?
I would say enjoy that kind of small town feel in a big neighborhood. Everyone really likes to know each other, very friendly. And so
people are so nice up here.
Yeah.
It's like the nicest neighborhood. You can literally stop anyone and just have conversations.
Yeah. And that ethos really comes into their small businesses too. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the shop owners here will kind of have that kind of rapport with the regulars. You know, people really want to know, what's up? How are you doing? How's your week? And it feels like just a small little community in a giant city.
It is. So how is business here?
It's
How have you
great.
guys been doing?
Yeah, we've been open for about 7 years, and about 6.5, almost 7. And the community's really embraced us. So Cowboys and Astronauts kind of uses the ethos of kind of play, a space for adults. So we have apparel, we have fun home goods, and we want to make sure everyone like enjoys it here.
So how do you guys like curate your stuff?
We are a small team. There's about 5 of us that work here, and so our store owner Matthew kind of gets our input on what products that we might like, as well as he goes on shops and markets to see what might resonate in the store.
So you guys are really a tight-knit team
Yeah.
here. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Final words for people?
Come to Andersonville. You'll never want to leave. I certainly don't. It's wonderful, and come and say hi at Cowboys and Astronauts.
Come say hi to George. So walking down the side streets, you're going to typically find is in established neighborhoods, you're gonna get all these huge, beautiful, gorgeous oak trees, which are quintessential tree-lined streets in Chicago, which is what people flock to. So you're gonna find a lot of multi-generational buildings, which are gonna be these 3 flats, as well as the standard 2 flat over here. That means that there are 2 units, sometimes a basement unit as well. You're gonna find a difference between, there's a brick front as well as our standard gray stone, which is so pretty in the city. Now, the other thing is we have these 3 unit buildings. Now, the good thing about Andersonville, I typically find, is these 3 flat units have large living spaces, which is really kind of nice. We actually sold something in this building 2 years ago. The 6 flat buildings are gonna have a lot more width to it. And so you're not giving up a lot of the gangway, so you do get wider spaces, which is really kind of special. And also one of my favorite things about this neighborhood is just the people are kind of interesting. Look, there's a cat thing coming off, a cat outdoor play place coming off this house in Andersonville. Now, what you're kind of seeing in this neighborhood is there's a lot of these 2 flats are actually being converted into single family homes. And it's really kind of nice, and they're turning out to be really gorgeous. So what's kind of really special about these buildings is they are built from the early 1900s. And so the way that they constructed buildings back then, they're super efficient, but they cost a lot of money because they have 3 layers of brick on the interior. Now, other neighborhoods where they saw a lot of these buildings deconstructed, and then they put up brand new condo buildings, these buildings are gonna be sold together or sometimes as a separate condo, and they were converted from apartments. There's a really cool difference to see front-facing brick as well as side brick. Front brick is a lot prettier. It also costs a lot more, so they only would do it on the front facing of the actual building. So you'll see that there is a difference when you look at every single building in the neighborhood, why the front is a lot different than kind of the back areas, even though they're all brick. But the neighborhood is also going to have a lot of single family homes that are scattered throughout. Now, there's clusters of single family homes if you're looking for kind of like a distinct neighborhood and not just having like a one-off. I would look more like in the Edgewater Glen neighborhood, or even a couple blocks east, you have another micro neighborhood, which is Lakewood Balmoral, which has all the single family homes that are on that 3 blocks just east of Andersonville. Sometimes a lot of people incorporate Andersonville into that Lakewood Balmoral, but they are kind of its own separate distinct neighborhoods, micro neighborhoods that are in this neighborhood. So Andersonville is known for the furniture shopping. Being an old Swedish district, you have a lot of really great Scandinavian furniture shops, as well as antique shops. But one of my favorite furniture shops is going to be this locally owned gay business. The owner is Chris. He loves Andersonville, and curates his own art as well as local Andersonville artists for his shop. Now, he switches out the shop every week, and it's awesome. Every time I go in there, there is always some really, really cool pieces. So come on and take a look at it. So guys, we're here at GL with the owner, Chris.
Hi, everyone.
Who has been here for at least 4 years now.
Yeah, we're coming up on our 4th year here. We opened during the pandemic, which was a challenge, but we were so excited to get the opportunity to be in this location, in this neighborhood, because we do love Andersonville. We love everything about the neighborhood feel about it, the relationship with our customers, our fellow businesses, and of course the chamber.
Oh, I love that. So what does GL stand for?
My husband, his last name is Gibbs, mine is LeBeau. I always joke that LG was taken, so we kind of had to switch it around. But it also can be great looking or good looking. So if you think about home decor, great looking home, good looking home.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, we kind of mix it all together and put it together here in the store.
Yeah. So why do people flock to your store?
Boy, I hope because of our great furniture, our great customer service, but for us, it's always been about trying to build a relationship with all of our neighbors, our customers, and not just make the sale, but actually build a relationship of trust with quality of furniture, with service, with delivery, and you know, word of mouth is how we grow. We really try to stay on trend, but not be too trendy. We want everything to be unique, but still have a really comfortable feel. Everything kind of works together here, or it can be just single separate pieces. But we really like to focus on finding that magical piece that you've been hunting for, and come on in and you can definitely find it here.
So tell us about this artwork.
Being part of the community and part of our neighborhood is we work with all local artists. So right now we're all Andersonville, and we build relationships with our artists. They fill our walls with gorgeous pieces. It really just creates a space for up and coming artists to be able to display their artwork. Marries with my furniture really, really well, or your furniture if you come on in. And it just really has been a great fit in building our relationship with Andersonville.
So what's your favorite things about the neighborhood?
First would be the people. People flock here we're furniture mecca, we're art, we're culture, we're food. So first and foremost, the people. I would say, secondly, the businesses have always been welcoming, and we all kind of tried our best to help each other out where we can. And then of course the Chamber of Commerce brings us all together. And they are truly one of the best in the city. They're supportive, proactive, and immersed with every single business here.
So what's one hidden treasure of the neighborhood?
I think one of the hidden treasures here is the museum. I think,
Really?
Yeah, I think it's really part of our foundation and why we're all here and what it's become.
Yeah.
So check out the Swedish Museum. It's a real treasure, and our Dollar Horse right next door to us.
One last thing, if you were to leave anybody like looking to move to this neighborhood, or if they're in another neighborhood and neighborhood shopping, what's like one lasting impression that you would have with them?
Again, it's walkable. You feel home here. Every single business will welcome you. Every restaurant, every person on the street. It's just one of the most amazing places I've been, and I've lived everywhere, that I feel like part of the pulse of the community. When you come here, you'll feel that too. You'll definitely feel it.
Thank you so
Good.
much.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate
Guys,
it.
stop in. It's an awesome store. So
Thanks, gang.
So Andersonville actually used to be the Swedish district here in the city of Chicago, with a lot of Swedish heritage here. This is actually portrayed in the water tower, which is right above us, but as well as this little statue. It says Chicago and it says Stockholm. And so you actually have the Swedish Museum. The History Museum is actually right around the corner as well. So this is actually one of my favorite things in Andersonville. Is just south of Foster Street. This unassuming building is actually a speakeasy, and the most magical thing about it is that it is a magic show parlor. Speakeasy meets magic parlor. It is such a fascinating concept. It was opened in 2018, but it's one of the things that I found during the pandemic, and it's so much fun. So there's two actual things that go with it. You're gonna enter through a bunch of laundry machines, which you don't think of. It leads into this magical little bar. And then there's also a grander theater that they do that has great cocktails as well as great food, and they do live magic shows where they bring in some of the best talent from all over the world, and then they also have local magicians who are doing hand magic at all of your tables. So one of my hidden favorite things about this neighborhood. So we actually came through the washer and dryers at the Chicago Magic Lounge. We're sitting here with Joey, who is actually the owner. So welcome, Joey.
Thank you
so much for letting us in randomly. We
literally
weren't expecting it.
Going to do laundry the way you came up to the place, so we're like, let's go and chat. Yeah.
But thank you. So tell us what got you started here in Andersonville?
I've been a resident of Andersonville for the past 18 years. I produced a show in Uptown for about 3 years called Chicago Magic Lounge. I met my business partner. He was just an audience member at the time. And we got to talking about making a permanent home for the Chicago Magic Lounge. Instead of doing a show 2 nights a week, we could do it 7 nights a week in our own space. And so we immediately joined forces. So we were both co-owners, and we decided that Andersonville was the perfect spot because we live and breathe here, we eat here, we shop here.
Everything.
And also it's just so great to have this kind of environment for live theater. There's restaurants, there's bars, there's shops for people to come and see during the day and then spend their evening at a restaurant and then come spend late night with us.
What does a typical night look like for you guys?
Oh man, well I'm in bed by 10. No.
Perfect. Okay, so you don't have the late shift.
Yes, no. No, nights here are just great. The bar opens at 5 o'clock. You can come as early as 5 for your 7 o'clock show. If you don't have tickets for the show, you can just come to the bar and hang out.
You even have a magician for the actual bar.
Yes.
And it's insane.
Yeah, it's based off of the old Chicago-style tradition of magic, where you see magic at the bar, magic at your table. So we wanted to design a bar that is specifically for magic. So we're kind of the only one that exists that has that. It's an actual cutout for magic at the bar. So you can come in, you can watch a show out there, have some good drinks, eat some snacks, and then if your show starts at 7, every night we start shows at 7. We bring them into this library here. This is an actual magician's library.
You have so many relics all over the place.
Yeah, these don't have a barrier behind it, and that's okay. These are books about magic. The real secrets are locked up, so.
Gotcha.
Got to keep the secret secret.
Yeah, totally.
So we bring everybody in here. We show them some of the relics, and these are relics,
pieces.
props of Chicago magicians.
So super local.
Oh yeah, one of the most notable is probably Marshall Burdine. He was Wizzo on Bozo. He was a close-up magician in Chicago from the age of 18, and we're still in touch with his family, and those are his actual props in there that he would perform magic with. And so they come in here, they get a little taste of some of the relics, and then the second secret door opens in front of them, which we've never put on film. Then they go in and experience a night at the tables.
And the tables are gorgeous. You did such a good job with the renovation and the theater.
This speaking of the renovation, for the neighborhood of Andersonville, this was a commercial laundry dating back to the 50s. The current family who owns the building, they took it over in the 70s. And so we came through, we blew the roof off, built a second floor up there, turned it into a venue. But this was a place for laundry. If you notice, there's a little Easter egg in the laundry that is the grandfather who took this place over in the 70s. And that's where his office used to be.
Well, we were talking earlier, you eat, breathe, sleep, everything Andersonville. Shop local.
Yeah, my wife and I, we both help to run this place. Eat locally, we shop locally. We go to the gym at Cheetah. Cheetah Gym has saved me a lot of just bad health over the last 5 years. And so what we like about Andersonville is we can go for months without leaving Clark Street. There's just so much to get done here. We'd rather go out and buy something local than do the Amazon next day delivery.
What gravitated you towards this neighborhood when you first moved here? Because you've been here for a long time.
I've lived in Chicago for 22 years. I moved here for Second City. I performed at Improv Olympic. I performed just locally around here. My agent, then I had got an agent. We started just acting, and so I was just living in the North Side. I moved here for improv, so I lived close to Improv Olympic in Wrigleyville adjacent. And then we moved a little bit further north, and then I just found another apartment a little further north. And I remember my first time ever coming this far north, there was an actor's bar up here. It still is kind of an actor's, but they call it an actor's bar. It's a Konak. So when you walk into Konak, there's all these black and white headshots all over the walls.
Cool.
We haven't used black and white headshots since the 90s.
Yeah.
But when we were late night, we would come up this far north to go to that bar because that's where actors used to hang out. And I thought this was Wisconsin. Like, it was so far north. I was like, are we still in Chicago? You know, whenever I met my girlfriend, who's now my wife, she was living right at Lawrence and Ashland, and we lived there for years. And then whenever we built the business, we decided to move into the commercial district. And it's been incredible. We're living right in the middle of it. And it's a wonderful community too. I'll see the same faces walking up and down the street. And it's so funny. I feel like there's
so many people.
When you start to see the same people over and over, you kind of like, are you my friend? Do I know you?
Yeah.
Can I stop and say hi? Because we've seen each other on the streets for so long. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
All the time.
And then I love...
That's the best thing about Chicago, just in general.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just the friendliness of everybody that comes by too. It's like, you know, everybody's just super friendly.
So what is like one thing if somebody was moving to the neighborhood and like determining what neighborhood to live in? What's your one pitch for Andersonville?
For Andersonville, I would make sure there was a magic theater that did close-up magic 7 nights a week in the neighborhood that I moved to.
That's true.
No, it's you want to have a space that has you're adjacent to something quiet, peaceful, like the neighborhood streets. You can take a walk down Glenwood and see some of the most beautiful single-family homes, and I just love seeing them. And then you can be on your commercial district. You have your own bar that's within walking distance to your house. You have your own favorite restaurant, and you have a gym to work it all out in. Like, there's just so much in a concentrated area. There's nothing better than this neighborhood.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Joey. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey guys, so thank you so much for exploring Andersonville with me. Again, this is one of my favorite neighborhoods in the city of Chicago. As always, we want you to explore the city of Chicago with us. So if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave a comment about what your favorite thing about the neighborhood is. We would love to hear your insights if you live in the area, and we can explore together. We just are so thankful for all of the people who interviewed with us and gave us tremendous insight into the neighborhood. The local businesses around here are the heartbeat of this area, and the residents definitely make this such a compelling neighborhood. As always, we want to help you live your Chicago lifestyle. So if you are looking to make a move to the city of Chicago, feel free to reach out to us. We would love to help you navigate all the different neighborhoods that Chicago has to offer, especially if it's Andersonville. We love this neighborhood and cannot wait to make you one of the residents here. Thank you so much for exploring Andersonville. We cannot wait to take you on our next tour of the next neighborhood in our next video. So see you then.